from our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Podscribe. If getting your podcast discovered is hard, then this new feature might help. Spotify has launched Prompted Playlist for podcasts. It's a tool that lets you build podcast playlists just by asking for something like, create a podcast playlist with the biggest entertainment news. The tool is available for premium users in English in selected countries. We've given it a go and we approve of its top choices. You'll find a video in our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. Spotify's article says that more than 34 million podcasts are discovered for the first time every week on Spotify. So anything that helps get new shows found will benefit us. George Soros's Soros Fund Management is investing into MeidasTouch Network, the owner of the MeidasTouch podcast. Terms weren't given. The investment company became the largest shareholder in Odyssey in February and invested in Crooked Media in 2022. And here's a fun fact for you. Soros was described as the man with the Midas touch in Time magazine in 1993. Well, he is now. Osher has expanded its growth suite with Osher Visibility Ads, adding the ability to buy ads on Spotify and YouTube for your podcast. Specifically adapted for podcast growth, the tool is available today in beta. An event for agencies, businesses and brands in Manchester in England has been announced. Hark Live will be on April the 29th. Podpage now transcribes podcast episodes automatically. The resulting transcriptions are available on your Podpage website. We'll link to an example today. The tool is free for elite members and supports speaker identification, timestamps and clean paragraph formatting. Transcripts are marked up for Google too. Radio stations broadcast something once and then, more often than not, it just disappears. Ozon has launched a new tool called PodcastBot. It's an AI-powered broadcast-to-podcast platform that turns live shows into polished, on-demand podcast content. And there's no hiding audio ads from our title sponsor Podscribe. They've just announced SiriusXM radio air checks, listening across SiriusXM channels. They've also added automated Pixel email scheduling. And if you're a publisher wanting to give your podcasters access to a login for their show, now you can. In People News, Literary Mama has grown the team for its podcast This Mama is Lit with 2 co-hosts and a podcast producer. And in Podcast News, Parks and Pages is new from WDW magazine. It's a new weekly show dedicated to Disney parks and cruises, history, storytelling, film and streaming and fan culture. Each episode features a mix of timely discussions and deep dive from Disney history and behind-the-scenes insights to travel tips and new experiences. Don't worry, we've already told Lauren Purcell from Tink. From early March, but it took a long car ride for it to appear in our ears as a surprise, Rob Walsh interviews one of the biggest names in podcast advertising, Dan Granger, in the Podcast 411 podcast. And Family Law is new today from Odyssey, investigating those stories that are passed down through generations, turning ever more fanciful. How much is really true? Well, each episode starts with an irresistible family story and digs deeper to find the real history. And this podcast is sponsored by Podscribe. Podscribe's heading to Possible 2026, and it's sponsoring one of the year's biggest marketing events. If you're in Miami, connect with Podscribe and talk measurement, media strategy, and what's next for the industry. There's a link in our show notes to do that, and that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free and fill out the report card, we're at podnews.net.